Zealand is deep-rooted as a wonderful country. That much everybody knows. There are likewise numerous other fascinating things to find out about Aotearoa, the Maori name for New Zealand signifying the place that is known for the long white cloud. We concluded to do a few examination and set up this rundown of 15 fun facts about New Zealand to enhance what you are familiar in this cherished country. Number 1. The first country to see the sunrise. We should get going with a somewhat dubious one, as the learned among you might realize that Samoa is in fact the first country to welcome the new day. Notwithstanding, on account of the shape of the earth, the North Island city of Gisborne on the east coast is quick to see the actual sunrise. It's an incredible spot to visit, especially on New Year's Eve, on the off chance that you're a hardcore partier, as it truly starts off. It's generally a decent one to tick off the list of must-dos, and the East Coast is an astounding spot to visit and be among those to encounter the world's first sunrise. Number 2. God Save the Queen is an official national anthem of New Zealand. God Save the Queen, Britain's national anthem, is, and was, the national anthem of New Zealand. Truly, New Zealand is one of just 2 countries on the planet to have multiple national anthems, the other being Denmark. The more generally perceived public hymn, God Protect New Zealand, didn't turn into the second national anthem until the 1970s by request, with the Queen's blessing. That is in essence dominated, yet in the event that you're at an especially glorious occasion you could hear God Save the Queen in full voice. Number 3. First country to give women the vote in 1893. One of the more respectable New Zealand facts is that it was the primary country to give ladies the option to cast a ballot in 1893. This was expected, to a great extent, to Kate Shepherd, a notorious figure in the ladies' testimonial development. Her endeavors in gathering 30,000 signatures for Parliament prompted the foundation of widespread right of suffrage, and for that, she should be visible on our $10 note. As well as this, New Zealand is additionally the main country to have 3 top positions held by ladies. These were Helen Clark, Prime Minister, Dame Sylvia Cartwright, Governor-General, and Sian Elias, Chief Justice. Number 4. Conquered Everest and discovered the Proton. Kiwis have an extraordinary history of being specialists in the extremely enormous and tiny. This is demonstrated by the way that they were quick to overcome Everest and the first to discover the Proton. The 2 New Zealanders liable for the above accomplishments were, obviously, Sir Edmund Hillary and Sir Ernest Rutherford. Strangely, they are frequently confused with being English, yet they are Kiwis completely. They additionally both have the pleasure of showing up on the $5 and $100 notes individually. Number 5. Longest named hill, Tamadawakatangi, Hangakoadamatia, Pakawanoakatanadahu. This epic word is actually the name of a 300-meter high hill in the beautiful Hawke's Bay. What's so special about it, as you may have guessed, is that it is the longest named place in any English-speaking country in the world. There are 40 syllables in the place name, which is a great one to practice to impress the locals. If that's a bit beyond you, you can use its shortened name of Taumata. Number 6. Volcano Country. New Zealand is, you could say, slightly precariously placed on what's known as the Pacific Ring of Fire. Quite a few of them are classified as still being active, including the iconic Mount Ruapehu, otherwise known as Mount Doom from The Lord of the Rings. On top of this, the biggest city, Auckland, sits on a large volcanic field of approximately 53 volcanoes. You need not worry though, as the last eruption there was about 500 years ago and is most probably unlikely to erupt again. Number 7. Clearest waters in the world. Individuals frequently discuss our immaculate landscape and clear waters, and they're not simply being great. It's valid. The Blue Lake, in the Nelson Lakes National Park, right now holds the record for having the most clear waters on the planet. Strikingly, it has a visibility range of up to 80 meters. Its Maori name is Rotomerwenua, which signifies Lake of Peaceful Lands. Number 8. Insects are big. If you're a bit adverse or have a phobia of the creepy crawlies, then New Zealand may not be the place for you. That's because the insects have a habit of being very big. One of our best examples of this is the weta, the largest insect in the world, which has ears on its knees, loves carrots, and weighs in at 70 grams. Another is the Paulophantous snail, which has a carnivorous diet of earthworms, which it sucks up through its mouth, weighs 90 grams and can live for up to 20 years. Number 9. Birds were big. As well as large bugs, in the past the birds were particularly large also. No, we're not discussing the kiwi birds. We're discussing the moa and the host eagle. The moa was a giant flightless bird, the biggest types of which were pretty much as tall as 3.6 meters and 230 kilograms. The predator species of moa, other than man, was the mind-boggling host eagle, the biggest types of bird to have existed, weighing 15 kilograms with a wingspan of over 2.5 meters and an assault speed of 80 kilometers per hour. Number 10. The dolphins, not so big. Like its achievements, the animals are either very big or very small, and in this case, the latter. Hector's dolphins, closely related to the Maui dolphins, are recognized as the smallest dolphins in the world at 1.5 meter in length. These beautiful creatures, with rounded dorsal fins and shades of white, gray, and black, are also very friendly. So much so that you can swim with them in the hidden gem that is Aotearoa. An amazing experience to include on your next trip. Number 11. A land of a lot of sheep. New Zealand is notable for its immense industry of agriculture and farming, yet most don't understand exactly the way in which large it is. There's a touch of discussion about this, however the by and large acknowledged agreement is that there are 9 sheep to 1 individual living in New Zealand. That puts the complete number at around 40 million sheep. At the point when guests hear that, they should think they'll see sheep strolling the city roads and unwinding at the sea shores. You're bound to see them in the field during your awe-inspiring excursions. Number 12. And a lot of cars. Speaking of driving, cars are just as prevalent in New Zealand. It's not quite to the tune of 9 to 1 people ratio, but they estimate there are 2.5 million cars on the roads. That's a fair few considering there are only around 4.5 million people. The car has always been the number 1 choice of travel in New Zealand. The roads are pretty good, the scenery is very good, and you have the freedom to go where you want, when you want. Number 13. Plenty of cheese and butter to go around. We've already mentioned the scale of farming in New Zealand, and that results in a lot of 2 things. Cheese and butter. A crazy amount of it. How crazy? Well, New Zealand produces the equivalent of 100 kilograms of butter and 65 kilograms of cheese each year for every person in New Zealand. It's a good thing it's enjoyed and exported to countries around the world because they could never get through it all on their own. Number 14. The force is strong with the people. A lot always been big fans of the Star Wars movies in New Zealand, proving it in our enthusiastic attendance of all the films over the years. That's not where our commitment has stopped, however. In the 2001 New Zealand census, over 50,000 Kiwis entered their religion as Jedi. That made it the second highest religion in the country at the time and the highest per capita in the world. Number 15. Hobbits rule. As strong as we are with the Force, Kiwis are all transfixed by the One Ring and the world of Hobbits. Unless you've been living in an actual shire somewhere, you'll know the Lord of the Rings trilogy was filmed in New Zealand by Sir Peter Jackson. It was a massive project that involved 275 days of shooting at 150 locations with 300+ sets. The strange little fact here was that they even had a minister of the Lord of the Rings in government. The minister's main responsibility was to make sure Kiwis took advantage of the tourism opportunities presented by the films. So there we have it. 15 fun facts about New Zealand to inform your next holiday to this wonderful country. We hope you found it enlightening and that it may even encourage a few more of you to make the trip down under. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Also press notification bell to notify you of any future similar videos.